Trump's new health care plan, health reimbursement accounts, explained. Trump just rolled out a plan to let employers subsidize individual insurance plans. President Trump long ago gave up on his promise to deliver health care for everybody, but his administration does have something else in mind: health reimbursement accounts. The Trump administration finalized some new regulations late last week for those tax-preferred accounts. In short, the regulations do put some important standards in place. For example, that's because employers in states where individual coverage is currently available relatively cheaply will have a stronger incentive, particularly if they have a sicker workforce, to offer HRAs. They can spend less. Potential disadvantages, as always with insurance, involve the potential for gaming. Catherine Hempstead, senior policy advisor at the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, told me. If employers are... I exchanged emails with Hempstead about the Trump administration's new HRA regulations. Our conversation: what the heck is an HRA? Is this like an HRA stands for Health Reimbursement Arrangement, and it is one of a number of tax-preferred health benefits. HRAs are... So what are the potential advantages for employers and their workers? Employers could make contributions to employees' health insurance without actually having to administer a group health plan. Employees could get... The individual market as a whole could improve if there was more enrollment coming from group, and that could result in more options and or better affordability. What are the potential disadvantages? Potential disadvantages, as always with insurance, involve the potential for gaming. If employers are able to use this to dump expensive employees in the individual market, they would save money, but the individual market could become more expensive. Employees may... Why would the Trump administration be interested in HRAs? How does it fit with... In some ways, it is incongruous because the administration has taken a number of actions and advocated for others which most people would construe as being designed to undermine the acai in general and the individual market in particular. Yet the success of... What are the implications for the health insurance market? Looking at the medium to longer run, the only way the individual market will really grow is if there is migration from group. So in that sense, this story appears in Vox Care, a newsletter from Vox on the latest twists and turns in America's health care debate. Sign up to along. Are you interested in more discussions around health care policy? Join our for conversation.
Raindrop, truck top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.